Okay, people. So, shout out to one of the engineers that got hold of me. One of the engineers got hold of me and said that Jeff, the electrical engineer, the ones he just so you guys know, he keeps letting you guys believe that he's structural or something like that. Jeff won't deny if you ask him, "Are you electrical?" He's an electrical engineer, and yet he lets a lot of the people believe that he just used the word engineer. It makes it seem like he's structural or something of that nature, or civil. He's not even a civil engineer, all right? Just electrical. Say not just. He deserves the electrical engineering, but this isn't electrical, is it? So he nefariously, I believe, just tells people, "I'm an engineer. I'm an engineer." Well, as far as I know, he's a house flipper. A condo flipper, doing bathrooms and Lowe's two-time. He gets upset about that tool-time thing. I mean, that's your deal, right? And he likes switching the narrative and trying to play cagey, but his game is like a D game, and I'm the A game. All right, he says that, he's a narcissist. I'm going to play that. You guys will hear it. And I think that superior. Well, I'm superior to you, Jeff. I'm superior to you when I'm exhausted. I'm like passing out. I hallucinogenic because I can't sleep. I got a toothache, a broken leg, and I'm 5 minutes away from my deathbed. Still outperform you every time. So anyway, that's there's his guys. He says I'm a narcissist, so can't resist that. It's like my man saying something about the cat thing. I just do it. Look, you can't banter with me. You'll lose every time because I'll jam you up with your own shit. Because let me jump a little bit before I come back to beating Jeff up. So this is Glenn Bell. He's the head engineer there. Now I've got a bias. One bias is I've followed Glenn Bell on his YouTube channel when he was doing schooling. And I saw one thing wrong, and I never forgot what he did wrong. All right, so that's my bias against Glenn Bell. But to take back that bias, one, it would be biased because he supports a couple of my statements here that I'm going to show you in a minute. So that makes it biased because, hell, the head of NIST is supporting a couple of my videos. Unlike Jeff's going to try to take some of this as his, where everybody knows the planter boxes weren't set up like this. But Jeff's going to try to then roll in his hold on. He's going to try to roll this into his JGL 460, which is 7 foot 7 inch outside tire. And then Jeff's going to show the wrong gates, incidentally, guys. And then he's going to flip to those gates. So he doesn't know how to put together a proper document. He's easily debunked because he's what, DeWalt? He's a DeWalt sucker. Anyway, you know what I mean by that. So this is Glenn Bell giving a glean against it. Now, in this meeting, because I'm going to talk about the meeting also, the one guy, I kind of like what he states, where he says, look, you got 25 hypotheses, and you ruled out that deflection, the subsidence is an issue. You ruled that out. And yet, you still keep it in as a possibility because you didn't reduce your 25 hypothesis, whatever the guy was saying, down to 24, even though you said that it couldn't do it. All right? And that it could not do it. Now, and the guy's quite pissed, and he's like, you should spend some of that money because he's saying you guys are just spinning your wheels. Now, I got to be fair to what the data is, even though the bias. Remember, I got put an OSHA report before, and then I attacked the OSHA report that gave me such a nice shout out. I then said, that's the way I am, guys. I let the chips fall where they are. So I support Glenn Bell as a good choice, the better choice for this, and maybe there could be a couple other guys too that would be a good choice to head this forensically. But what I do dislike and like about his thing is that, hey, we got 25 hypotheses, including, for some of you guys that, like Jeff says, calls people conspiracists and all that other stuff. including they're leaving in on the table that explosives and somebody ran into with a car. Even that's not eliminated. And that pisses off one of the guys in the that's allowed to ask questions in this meeting, one of the board members, and pisses off another one too. But they actually address it. I don't know if it pisses off more, but they're like, hey, you're not reducing anything. You're just giving us nothing. The same thing is what they're trying to say. You're just giving us, we're waiting, and you're not getting any closer by telling us we've eliminated even a car bomb, a lot of other things, and they haven't even worked on the tower yet. This is just the decking. That they recovered no audio tapes or videotapes of this, from the building's equipment. Of course, they used the 7th floor video. Interesting, Glenn Bell talks about the trajectory of the debris. I did a video where I talk about the trajectory of the debris, why it matters, and I call it angle of incidence, right? And I think I also say it's angle of incidence with it's the last angle of incidence. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. I think that's what I titled it. I got to look it up again for you. But it's about how the debris is on an angle. Well, by chance, Glenn Bell says the same thing. I'll say by chance. I won't be cocky enough to say that Glenn Bell's watching my content, but it's odd that he also stated the same thing and no one else did besides me doing a video on that. And he talks about that angle of incidence, the impact incidence. Now let's hear Jeff ramble on, suck his own whatever, and let's listen.
Jonathan spoke in some detail about this. This slide shows that a line of added landscape planters near where the pool deck joins the building's tower, up near the north side of the pool deck, were not part of the building's original design. The upper left-hand image is one from the original architectural design drawings, and if you can see the detail in that red box.
All right, let's be clear that all these boxes you see, they're on top of a column. In fact, this one does what I call it like a hair job, like a wig over top of the column when it goes down. I think it's this one right here. And the original design had, it was a couple renderings, and this is now with the jacuzzi, but he had planter boxes against this wall. So when he says original design, even this is not the original design. There was one before this one without the jacuzzi and a planter box here. So let's be clear about that this is a rendering that he's picking of an original design. It is not to be fair, it's not. To be fair, it is not the original design. The original design was here.
Box there were no planters showed. The upper right Google Earth images shows a number of large planters. This is from an image taken in 2019. At one point in time, there were palm trees in those planter boxes, very large, some of them approaching 3 stories tall. The weight of those palm trees and the action of wind blowing on them could have damaged the slabs over the time that they were there.
Now he says could have damaged the slabs. Any action of them swinging, but not cars. What about the car loading? Since he understands it, swinging or this swinging of a light rooted palm tree that he states that are 3 stories tall, 30 feet, that they could damage the deck. All right, so that would be there's one over here and there's was one here and here. He stated it could damage the deck, but yet he's not talking about the vehicle loading could damage the deck. All right? He's not talking about that. Now, it's interesting. Now, Tool Time is going to come in here, and he talks about his JGL lift, which I told you, 7 foot. This is the gate opening here. He's going to try to change the narrative. Tool Time. He's going to show a different scissors lift now in his image. And so he's taking some sneaky liberty. Sneaky, because he didn't have that in his original thing. He said the scissor lift, and I would only did a reaction video because everybody was beating me up about, hey, Tool Time says that, and they weren't calling him Tool Time then. Tool Time said it's all fracturing over here because of a JGL lift, and I looked at his video then and I was like, you got to be shitting me. No, they didn't bring a giant JGL lift like that because they couldn't fit it through the gates. It just wouldn't. It's just too damn big, and to just take down a 30-foot palm tree. All right, now, and then he switched it over now to a scissor lift, which would be, all the stuff is easily determined by the people that cut down the damn tree. Find out who did it, who removed the tree. So again, Glenn Bell is claiming that the wind action of the rocking of the palm tree could have caused damage. Well, it's on a root ball, and incidentally, I just love roots and all that. You guys would see out there. Well, I didn't load up a couple of videos, but I put it in some short videos and a couple other things. Root balls are very interesting the way they work. I'll do more videos on that for you because I like it engineering-wise, structure-wise. So the answer is no. It would be a pivoting on top of the top of the column. And during failure, we see how it drapes. But that pivot action confined inside this box limits it to, you got to pick your poison. How much of the weight or loading are you going to claim it's over there? But it would show itself in that much lever action he's talking about would have, that much lever action, it would have fallen over. If it's rocking like that, it's loosened itself inside the box, and it would have fallen over and cracked the box before it cracks the deck, because these boxes are on top of the deck. So before it would harm the deck, it would first fall over, period. All right, fall over, period. Now, I've pushed over many trees with excavators and things like that. Now, Jeff works in little condos, whatever he says he remodels condos. All right, good for him for making money. I doubt he's making any money now. But in the real world, I do the real thing. Jeff does pretend. All right, he buys the tool thing. You know, whatever his scam is with this tool thing where he makes his money is, well, you know, scam meaning that's how you make your money, right? His money. So whatever this tool thing angle is, and also trying to post this, that's the way he makes his money on there. Scam. So it's not really a scam. It's more, you know, a bedazzlement is what I'm trying to say. It's a bedazzlement of people saying, look, I'm an engineer, but he's leaving off, it's electrical. It's like a lot of guys, computer engineers. All right? So do computer engineers start posting videos saying, I'm an engineer, and make you think that when they start talking structural, that it's in their wheelhouse? No. And so I don't know what electrical engineering he did, but why doesn't he do electrical engineering stuff? There's plenty of stuff on there. Obviously, brain cells probably don't work that way, because he had his chance with the Titan sub to go after the electrical engineer that did that work there. That's something supposed to be in his wheelhouse. But yet he didn't say a word. He didn't mention a word about how he's an electrical engineer, or maybe, you know, no longer licensed, but I'll still give it to him if he's got his degree. I'll still give it to him, you know. I don't care about whether he's I don't care whether he's PE'd or not. All right? I give it to him anyway, as long as he graduated. So the point is that he needs to stay in his wheelhouse. So let's let him play this, and I'm only going to hit a couple of points here, but that's one of them. And this is a reaction video for one of these guys that asked me.
Extra loads further reduce the margins of failure in that region of the slab.
Now this one
So it further reduced it. Okay.
Definitely vindicates me on some of my earlier videos where you remember I talked about those palm trees.
All right, the images here. Vindicate him, he says. That's the JGL lift, all right? Now watch the next image, how he superimposes now a scissor lift.
And I mentioned that how the added weight of the planters.
And let's be clear. He said it's 30 feet, this Glenn Bell. As you can see, that they're here. It's the second story. We're talking 20 feet. He said 30. That's up here. All right? That's up here. And this planter, you know, this one might be up there. This one to the left, further away. And there's another one at the steps there, a small guy that I show you guys. And this one's further down in front of the other structure. And so that's part of the structure where it's gone. It did go around. It dropped this brush around it like a wig. This one looks low. This one looks low. This one looks high. So let's look at the planter box here and here. This looks like this is this planter box. So this looks like the highest one. It's actually the one to the left. It's not the one that's everybody's questioning, this one. And then we do the size and the math, and I looked at this thing, and I tried to get the weight and all that. And because the engineer specifications about shallow rooted and everything else, I could not get this to be a beast. All right, I try to get it to be a beast. I already looked at the lever action of it, and because it's sitting on top of the column head, hard pass on calling it a thing. So now I take away from my Glenville thing.
And the palm trees, plus the potential damage caused by driving heavy.
He says plus potential damage. So this means he just, potential damage from 10 inches of rain. All right, it's just making up shit. And now he's overlaid a different machine in his own drawing. But this was this machine that he used in his narration. I don't have to get the video. Maybe he deletes it or not. He moves it all around here, cracking up all the deck. All right, cracking up all the deck. But now in his talk to you as the public, and he's trying to come after me now, he slips in this smaller scissor lift. That's a difference now. That's not this monster here, that one he talked about.
The equipment onto that pool deck.
So that's that deceptive stuff.
Those palm trees and put them in at the planters. How else do you think they got them in there? Plus, there's no way that they hand walked a couple of thousand of those tiles onto that pool deck. Those things were probably driven on large pallets and probably set down by a skid steer or something else, or a bobcat or some other type of small equipment.
Okay, so now we're talking about Tong Lee. Tong Lee, the engineer that did the decking. And I claim that he needs to be brought forward. He's not dead. As far as I know, he's not dead. Why don't they bring him forward and let Tong Lee answer how he managed this movement of equipment on the deck and all? He licensed it. He engineered it. He's the one that stamped it. He was this special inspector. Tong Lee was. So here's this JGL lift sitting on his deck. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. So when he puts this on there, you guys start believing, especially his people over there. But
may not be the JLG 460 articulating boom lift that I showed in my picture here.
He said it may not be. He said, listen.
But certainly they had to have used something. And I stand by my argument because now, in light of this under-designed pool deck and all of that bad concrete there, and it's right in that area, I think this was a contributing factor for sure. I did take some criticism from one of the other YouTube channels, and you guys know who he is. He's that narcissist guy out there that he has an elevated sense of importance where he thinks that he's the only one that has all of the answers and all the rest of us are stupid.
Oh, no, it's just you, Jeff. It's just you, buddy. Everyone else is I kind of saw some of the other forums. Some of the electrical engineers, I could give them, they're batting, 20, 30% with some of their ideas. But you just hyena them, man. I've seen you over there in those forums. You hyena their shit, boy. You take their stuff and you publish it as yours. You publish it as it is yours. Ask him, guys, where does he get his content from? And if he tries to deny it, he just makes it up. I can show you that he gets his content first over in his other forum. And those electric, I give credit to a few of the, even though they don't like me over there, a few of the computer guys. You say they're computer engineers. Some of them got some good brains on them, for this type of thinking. Like I said, about 30% of their comments are pretty decent. As I look at them, like, I haven't looked in a minute, but I might have to go over there and take a look. But he's the hyena snatching their data up and publishing it. Now, maybe he also goes on Reddit, I don't know. But definitely he goes on the group. And I won't mention it because one of the guys that when I mentioned the group, one of the guys from watching my content went over there and badmouthed me forever. And so Charlie something or whatever. And I'm like, that guy, what is he, does he want to, he got a secret crush on me or what? The guy doesn't stop. I'm like, wow, dude, you secret lover? A secret crush? You got a boy crush on me? A little gay thing? I'm not gay though, so you're on your own. All right, so that was a nice troll, wasn't it? So he hasn't messed with me in a while yet. I just did that. So that was bad, whatever. At least I don't know if he did or not. But here we go. But the rest of the people over there, pretty damn brilliant. I mean, pretty good with some of their stuff. So here we go.
And he's even insulted me, called me tool boy or whatever. Just
tool time, boy. Tool time, boy. No, I don't call him tool boy. You guys know I don't call him tool boy. And he smiled. He likes it. A little tool time.
He has an elevated sense of importance where he thinks that he's the only one that has all of the answers and all the...
Yo, dude, use a damn razor under your nose, man. Your nose. You got hair sticking out.
The rest of us are stupid. And he's even insulted me, called me tool boy or whatever. This is what happens when you don't have the facts and when you lack understanding of construction sites.
Well, he had to duck his head down when he said that, guys. Again, I'm the one that does the industrial sites, not this clown. He works in private rooms, bathrooms and stuff like that, which makes you even wonder, is he even licensed to do that? Does he get all his work passed? Me, I actually have licensed electricians and plumbers that work under me. I can do that work and get all of it passed because I can apprentice under them that I get to do that if I so choose. So that's what's so cool about that. So I don't step out of licensing, and I always have working under some licensing of some type or subordinate to someone that has the licensing for that job, subordinate. So he ducks his head. Now ask him to show his industrial jobs or commercial jobs, and you'll probably see zero. So he says lack experience. Did he just rat on himself?
The rest of us are stupid. And he's even insulted me, called me tool boy or whatever. This is what happens when you don't have the facts and when you lack understanding of construction sites.
Why you turn your head away? Lack understanding construction sites. My God, I run so many construction sites. Boy, what do you run? A damn tile saw? I don't know.
He also told me I was basically stupid for even suggesting that any equipment was brought onto the pool deck.
Okay, let's see about that. Did I say he's basically stupid? I didn't say any equipment, all right? I said that equipment. That one specifically, this one. I didn't say any equipment because you can do things like move it around with a jack. And as far as stockpiling of materials, that's because he doesn't know how to work on industrial sites. Doesn't mean that the engineer or the contractor doesn't. He even states the contractor's so dumb that they don't even know that they're working on top of a garage. That's just what he says, that they're so dumb, that contractor, that that they didn't know there was a garage below or something of that nature. And we'll get to that in a second. The point is, you can use just a regular pulled dolly to pull around pallets of the material, but the weight stockpiling material should be in the street, where it's on the street, and then it's transferred to onto this patio. And that could be done by temporarily removing and installing part of that wall system would be a good access point from the street. So you'd probably want to see if Tong Lee ever got a permit to own part of that street and stockpile his materials there during this construction. And because part of the wall is what I would find feasible to work with. You don't interfere with parking. You're only working on the pool deck. You're getting direct loading that you're stockpiling materials. There's no issue out there on the street, but it is a Miami street, so that might be a tough one. But maybe they did it anyway. I don't know how they went about that. But that stockpiling materials is critical, and moving of the materials to this location is critical. It's amazing that the photographs are not coming up. Again, that would point to Tong Lee, though. I think it's Tong Lee. Did a whole video on him. The engineer that did this, that self-certified it. We're talking about him, and everybody's giving him a pass. Easy pass.
Because he's like, you can't fit it in there past the gate.
Now, he says you can't fit it in there past the gates. Now, this is where he's doing deceptive stuff again. These gates are not the gates of that job, okay, guys? These are not the gates. And yet he's doing this, the sneaky bullshit he does, showing something else that is not related. These are not the gates. All right, this is ramped up. This is, I don't know if it's 6 feet, 3 foot and 3 foot. But with that said, I know one of the guys that talked to me that welded those gates and repaired it, and he told me it was about 6 feet wide. He told me himself. The welder that worked to fix the gates, not these, the original ones. Now watch, next part of this section, he's going to switch to the real gates. Watch.
Well, take a look at this picture right here.
These are the real gates, right here. Here and here, the two gates. All right? There's the two gates. Now he's claiming that you can bring that JGL machine in. That you can't add that scissor lift. That's not part of the game. He also says that they brought in maybe a Bobcat. Well, that's a different conversation. He's bringing that up now. But the issue is the JGL lift. and we look at his specs, it's 7 foot 7 inches wide. It's a beast, all right? It's a beast of a machine. So it's not fitting through these gates. It's too big. So, but he's still playing, oh, I got to show me up, that the narcissist Kai up. I got to show him up. That damn narcissist, I got to show everybody that he's a narcissist. Oh my gosh. I love psychology. I love psychology. We all must have a healthy bit of narcissism in him. Narcissists would be like you, Jeff, where you did that video. Remember the video you did about selling cars or whatever, and you did that sticker and you hid the sticker, and you can't even slander me because I still got the video. And then you kept telling everybody in the audience and watching a video that they don't put it on there, and then I freeze framed and I show where you were blocked out that sticker with the with one of those little gradation things where you blocked it out, and then I showed and I said, there it is, and he's telling everybody they block it out. That is so interesting that you would do that. You are, I don't know if you're a narcissist. You're greedy for money. I know that much. You're greedy for money because you're out of your wheelhouse. If you did electrical, you're probably doing good videos. But maybe you suck at electrical. Maybe you really do because you're not staying in your wheelhouse. And maybe I should start selling tools, guys. What do you hold DeWalt's and we go through Lowe's and talk about their discounts. And maybe we should start doing that. So this is the gates. But let's hear the rest of Tool Time's thing.
This to me looks like it's a double gate here, a double wide gate.
Factor 4.
And he jumped away from that. So what? It's a double wide gate. It's 6 feet, and your damn machine is 7 foot 7. Outside tire, inflated. So you guys know that shit counts a lot of times when you're trying to get a vehicle through somewhere. Sometimes to get more pressure, distribute the pressure, you actually let the air out if you can. If it's not, unless it's a solid tire. All right, so let's go from, I'm looking at this timeline on this one, 2120, okay.
Is an additional added weight to the pool deck slab. It shows at one location in the pool deck, 9 inches of sand in a setting bed was added during a renovation. The middle image taken by the...
So that's Tong Lee. That's Tong Lee. I think it's Tong Lee. I did a video on him. He's the one that should be eating this. Why are we not beating him up? Why is he getting a free pass for adding all this friggin' weight?
Same structure specialist shows a location near the swimming pool where there was also a setting bed 9 inches thick. And it appears that some, if not all, of that material was added in a renovation. During the renovation, 1 1/4 inches of new pavers and a sand bed was added with a waterproofing layer on top of the existing tile and mortar. So these additional loads even further reduced the margins.
So you guys have to remember that what also, speaking to Glenn Bell, because I think he's watching my product. Glenn Bell, that also means they have an elevation of the pool, doesn't it? I got a problem with that. They got an elevation of the pool edges then, because you just can't add 10 inches of elevation without also elevating the pool edges. So you want to look into who did the pool elevation, the coping. They probably called it coping. I think that's where they had it in one of their permits. Pool coping. In reality, we can now call it pool elevating. So you could probably look into the height, the depth of the pool, and see if it changed. And if it didn't change, did they add more to the base of the pool to make it so the elevation didn't change in the pool for whatever reason? Maybe an insurance would say, hey, you got a 9-inch deep pool down there. We're not insuring you now. So maybe they even added, an elevation in the bottom of the pool. And you don't know that because I don't know if you guys cored the pool, the bottom of the pool, to see what happened there. Did the elevation change? Or is it something simple as looking at the new markings, 9-foot deep end, and all of a sudden you see it says 10-foot deep end, Glenn Bell. So you want to look into that.
Against failure.
So this is just mind-boggling how much sand and extra materials there were there on that pool deck. Now, I had showed you on my videos a couple of years ago, right after the collapse. If they had known that they were on top of a garage, they probably would have thought things up.
Here we go.
You could do this all.
Here you go. Listen, guys. This is when you're going to talk bad about the contractor, saying the contractor's so stupid. That's the guy, this narcissist, who just said that I call everybody stupid. He's now going to call a contractor so stupid they didn't even know that they were working up on a parking on a pool deck. That they're so stupid that they think they're working on the ground. Listen to what he states.
All day long on the ground. But if they had known that they were on top of a garage, they probably would have thought things out differently.
Factor.
So this is how much Jeff doesn't work in the construction field, guys. That he's going to claim that he's claiming that that a contractor wouldn't know that there's a parking underneath of them. That they magically wouldn't know this. Let's hear it again.
They're laborers. That's all they do. They know how to move materials from here. It's so easy to Monday quarterback this and go, why didn't these
All right, listen.
people know? You know what? When you're dealing with contractors like this, the guys that are actually doing the work don't really know much of anything. They're
So he's just insulted all the workers that they don't know much of anything. This is how much he doesn't work in the construction field. Because the last thing I would do was insult the workers right now and say that they didn't know much of anything. Listen to this.
they're laborers. That's all they do. They know how to move materials from here to there. They
He must be talking about the people he hires.
probably didn't even know that they were sitting on top of a garage. That's the thing. You could do this all day long on the ground, but if they had known that they were on top of a garage, they probably would have thought things out differently.
Fact.
So now Jeff is stating, I'll have to play that one again. Jeff is stating that the contractor's so dumb that he only moves material around. The engineer didn't even know it, with this, that the engineer's also dumb, Tong Lee, and that they thought they were down here on the ground, and that there was no, that they just stupid. Listen, let's do it again.
When you're dealing with contractors like this, the guys that are actually doing the work don't really know much of anything. They're laborers. That's all they do. They know how to move materials from here to there. They probably didn't even know that they were sitting on top of a garage. That's the thing.
That's the thing. So see, here's arrogant, not the arrogance, that's the narcissistic thing. Uh-oh, I see my girl Stephanie. I might have to end this, guys. Steph, hold on, girl. Hold on. I got to go feed her.
You can do this all day long on the ground, but if they had known that they were on top of a garage, they probably would have thought things out differently.
Factor 5.
And I have to say, I haven't seen Jeff in a while, but Jeff's got something going on. He's got a little leanness going on there, a little more leanness, and there's something. Either he's purposely losing weight, or Jeff, you got something else going on, don't you?
Degrees, ranging not infrequently from
this area is the hooks there.
Hold on, guys. Let me get this. Hold on, Stephanie. Okay, that's Jeff sucking his own. So hold on. You know what I mean by that. Let's have a little fun, because Jeff is gonna watch how in his own video he's gonna vindicate me with something. Watch.
Realizing that they're letting the cat out of the bag.
Oh, wait a minute. Did he just say let the cat out of the bag? That was perfect. Thanks for the shout out to the cats. So Jeff does a shout out to my cats. Stephanie, you hold on, girl. I got to give her another shot. She listens to me. She loves watching.
Next, he's going to talk to us about the Miami Herald article that showed some cracks on the planter there on the pool deck.
So in May of...
Okay, so this is where I jumped to Josh, and this is where I jumped to Josh in a second. So this is the video I put it up a year ago, and it says, Champlain Tower sagging rectangular array because removal of BMA, deflection, butterfly deck failure. And I'm talking about rotation in here too. Now, this is what Glenn Bell states. So this is Miami Herald's image. Oh, so Glenn Bell is watching the different people's content, and which he should, because that's the same thing that the other engineer did also. He literally this report here literally got data from my channel and other sources and put it together. This is wrong though. This punching shear is wrong. All right. And I heard Jeff in here use the word tributary. Never used it before, and all of a sudden now he knows how to use the word tributary. Plus he knows I call him Tool Town. How does he know that? So anyway, he's still watching my content. He still can't give me credit besides cry about calling me a narcissist. Oh, my heart hurts for you. I actually like reading about narcissists, learning about them. They're an interesting creature, especially people like Jeff. Like Jeff, I think he's motivated by greed, money. And he doesn't care how he gets there as long as he does that. That's why he did the video blocking out stuff. And he's still worried about that damn JGL video I did with that. He's let that shit go. That's stupid on his part.
2022,
Okay,
the
hold on.
Miami Herald ran an article showing cracks and other distress in some of the planter walls that bound the west side of the pool.
Oh, so the Miami Herald said sagging slab. That's what I typed. I said with mine too. And over here, this is sagging slab. That's right. Yep. But I did a diagonal coming off of there, and I showed the crack for that.
Deck, and you can see that by the red arrow on the image on the upper left here.
Well, yeah, red arrow should. That's just. It's very slight sagging. It's here to here is the more significant sagging from this point. The planter box out to the mid section. Going back this way too.
That contains a photo of that pool deck taken in early June of 2021.
Now, I did another video. I don't know if I posted in the private room or not, but this guy contacted the engineer days before. They did not come out until they said they were also going to check the davits on the roof. So they didn't even consider it an important thing. You know, they didn't jump on it.
So just about 3 days before the failure. But to the left of column K13.1, there was a very abrupt and severe distress in the form of some rotation.
Oh, in the form of some rotation. Well, there we go. Stop right there. Stop right there. Now, my video's a year ago. All right, let's start at 15:10 here. Let me press play.
And this again is staying, it's
So that's Jeff Josh talking.
wanting to stay put, but it's sort of torn between the two. It's not sure if it wants to go down or if it wants to kind of stay put. So it's kind of following down a little bit as it goes down.
All right, so let me help Josh out. What's going on is a rotation. What's going on is a rotation. Back to Jeff's video. Using Jeff's video, we back up. We're at 26:57. Let me back up just a hair here. Right there. And hit that.
Severe distress in the form of some rotation.
In a form of rotation. Shout out to Glenn Bell. That's what I said right here. We back. I'm at 15:26, so I got to go back to, say, 15:23 and hit it again. So let me help Josh out. What's going on is a rotation. The deck is sagging. I said rotation. So, my man Glenn Bell says rotation also. Once again, let's smell it one more time. 2650. Smell it. Let's enjoy it one more time. Sweet smell of victory is what I'm saying.
Form of some rotation and a vertical displacement between the planter wall and the planter box right.
All right, so there's your rotation. Look, I got to go see my girl Steph outside, so I'm going to cut this one short. I have more to joke around with tool time there. He needs to let that shit go about that JGL shit. Unless it can prove there's a JGL guide on there, that they move the gates, but nah. In that case, we would count it as extra loading here, but it'd be one-off loading. Let's just say theoretically they could open this up, and while it was open, they used a JGL lift that the guy had, whatever, right? Getting paid extra. All right, it's a one-off. It's a one-off stress, one-off cycle. All right, let's give them that one, the giant opening. Instead of opening it 4 feet, they opened it 8 feet, and they were able to slip this JGL in one time. You just got to go real gently through it one time out. All right, let's give it that way instead of the gate. All right. Now that's still one off, and then you would have to prove that they actually did that. But again, I would have it opening here, and now you can add a Bobcat and etc. doing the movement, and we're talking 1980, so it'd be small Bobcat. Those are like the 83s or whatever they call them. That they're very small, but and the load capacity was very small back then also. Now they got the monsters, all right? So the monsters now can lift up a whole pallet. Back then, that thing had capacity. We're talking 700 pounds or so, something like that. It wasn't huge, but it was still a significant load. It would still be a significant load, but if they're one off, bring the sand in, stockpile, move away. And I don't know Tong Lee. I can't find his work besides this one. I don't know if he knows about stockpiling and all. I looked at his the contract. It didn't even address stockpiling of materials. It didn't reveal 9 inches here. It didn't talk about the exact coping of raising it 9 inches, the pool. All right, So if you're going to get cycle loading, it's going to be cycle loading from these vehicles. And that's what one of the engineers that called me up today was pissed off because the NIST report avoids the parking garage cycle loading as part of the stress here, that is still focused on the magical just dead loading of here, including, as you just heard, the 9 inches around here. Don't be confused. This is 9 inches here. It tapers down to drains. So the narrative is 9 inches. Look at 9 inches, but don't get confused. It's not 9 inches everywhere. This is a taper down to multiple drains. High point being the apparent high point, presented high point at the coping of the pool deck. And I'm calling it extra coping, and that would actually be a deck pool elevation change, and a deck elevation change, and now that tapers down, and then this is what we need to see here. And over here, it's almost 1-to-1. When they put the concrete pad in, it's just like transitions smoothly. Again, the welder told me about they did have some binding here at one time. He had to fix the hinges here, do something, some work. I forgot. I'd have to find it. If you're watching the content still, shout out again. What welding did you do again? Let's go.
There. And this distress is consistent with unusually large slab deflections.
Large slab deflections. And that's what I talk about. There's large slab deflection. But I have it going this way. In this direction, I have it in this content here. Let's see if I can fast forward. Fast forward. So there's a small gate right there. That's what Happy Time says. It's gone through. He says the workers don't even know that they were there. And I talked about punching shear, and I did this video here. You should come to it, guys, and watch it. Rectangular array explains a lot. Like, this is true. This is tributary failure, not punching shear. This is a tributary failure into the critical shear zone failure. Not to be confused with just straight punching shear. This is not also. Straight punching shear, which we have on the CTS structure. There is a difference. That means the critical shear zones were never built up proper. And he does talk about that in a long video that's published that I have yet to share with you, or this report. Frankly, I just lost my steam after I've been gaslit by YouTube, putting this content that I'm about to post now about CTS, putting it with the weirdest of people coming looking at it. It's quite nasty. There's the JGL. We'll let that slide now. Oh, but we will hit that one more time. We'll hit Jeff one more time, insulting workers about being stupid clowns.
A couple of thousand of those tiles onto that pool deck. Those things were probably driven on large pallets and probably set down by a skid steer or something else, or a bobcat or some other type of small equipment. It may not be the JLG 460 articulating boom lift that I showed in my picture. Yeah, I think this was a contributing factor for sure. I did take some criticism. This is what happens when you don't have the facts and when you lack understanding of consulted me, called me tool boy or whatever.
You're a tool boy. You got 2 friggin' tools in your hand, and you're tool time, not tool boy.
This is what happens when you don't have the facts.
Oh, I just love that part. I just enjoyed hearing him say that.
Tool boy or whatever, this is what happens when you don't have the facts.
Hey, look, tool time. Oh my gosh, the boy, since he calls himself boy now, the boy goes over there and takes all those people's data. Why don't you give a shout out to the people you get this shit from, that you take your shit from, man, over in that group. That one group you're always sniffing around in.
When you lack understanding of construction sites. He also told me I was basically stupid for even suggesting that any equipment.
Well, I apologize for saying basically stupid. That's the way I communicate. It is rough as hell. But you are a devious, deceptive motherfucker.
Was brought onto the pool deck because he's like, you can't fit.
Because this is deceptive as shit. Trying to showing this. But this is interesting photograph, guys. You do notice what you notice here, right? I want to tell you what this is in this photograph. Since Tool Time is so fucking brilliant, he's so fucking stupid. 2218. You see these fractures here? From here over to here? This fucking thing's deflecting. This is actually a good image. There's some safeguard. This is the other building. So if you guys are watching me from that other channel and the engineers over there, I hope like hell that you got some supports under here. Because this is cracking. As I say, it's not for free. I don't know the displacement here. This is if it's rotating down this way or pushing away or not, or if it's just deflecting like this. Let me point directions like this. And I'm going for like this. Now, can somebody tell me why I go from here to here? I'll tell you. From here to here, like a V shape. All right, let's do the V shape real quick. Ah, shit. Okay, now this is some serious shit here. And so tool time, because I don't have a fucking voice on YouTube, you little tool time piece of shit, you need to share this with YouTube so the people over there can get a safety shout out. Because your ass gets 1 million fucking views. I don't know if you're paying for advertiser or not, but whatever you're doing, you're slamming my ass into the fucking ground, like making me look like a punk ass amateur. With respect to that, I'll give you that. See, I don't have narcissists would never give shout out like that. That motherfucker put us a video up and gets what? He got 430,000 views on this shit and only put 103,000 views. Fuck out of here. Anyway, back to this one. So tool time, you need to share this with those people, man. Because this is I do news and I do life safety stuff. So unlike you, I know what I'm looking at. So you should do a video on this for give me my shout out. Don't be a little pussy. So you look at the gapping here. All right, now he's gonna get his lesson, and you guys are getting your lesson too. So tool time will now become an expert in what I'm saying because he got it from me. So anyway, shit, I wanted a smaller arrow. Let's just do this. This is gapped. This gap there is larger there. And then this, fuck me. You can probably look at this gate and see the alignment. You can run a laser on this. You need to transit this. They need to do everything with this. This needs to be surveyed properly. But this gap here is what I'm driving at. This gap is significant. That gap there, when it's tighter here, I tell you got more deflection around here, whether it's rotation or just down like this, or if it's rotating on this side, what presents as this side, and in reality it might be on that side, and the top of this box, this whole top section, is rotating away, giving the illusion that it's this side. All right? I can't tell because I'm not there. I need better imagery. Although, biasly so, it looks like it's more plane towards us, and that looks more plane to what? Oh, shit, there might be a double torque. It might be a twist in this. That, not a twist as in like, twist in the plot, but literally a torque in this DAC. But this is a serious friggin' image right here. This crack is not for free. Remember that? This is not for free. So any of you guys in that building, have your engineer look at this, and if he discounts it, you're back to, that's his choice. I'm not trying to slander him. I don't know him. But if he discounts this, get yourself another opinion. You don't get that crack for free. That's a base crack. That's a structural crack. That is dangerous. IMO. All right, so that is very dangerous. Now that I was here, let me get rid of that one. Yeah, I want to save that. Shit. Don't need to talk about Josh anymore. We're talking about the rotation there. So this is important. Shit. Where I talk about the rectangular array. Now, I did this over a year ago. Remember, they just posted this just a few days ago. I'm trying to find the tab. Shit, did I close it out? No. So NIST just posted this September 7th. That's yesterday. Fuck, they just posted it yesterday. And I still got more to go through. But the other one, the Tool Time is talking about, he posted it 3-4 weeks ago, whatever it is. Let's see. August 13th. So this is another video, more content from, if you guys want to find it, you come over, look at NIST, and look at this title here. And you'll find it. Then you can scroll down and hit the document here. See presentation here. I'll go over that. There's a lot of data in there. Some of it's going to be stroking my ego. Some of it is very intriguing. It's got to be a separate video because this would get too long. Besides, I got to run out and see Stephanie. Right here. So he's pointing at my ex, and I pointed that out a long time ago, even over a year. Here's a year ago. But this thumbnail is even older than that. I date it. It's already an uploaded file on the cloud. And it points to this way before Champlain, before Miami Herald posted. I had no knowledge of their image. Not until I think Josh posted it, and then somebody told me about Josh's video. And then I had knowledge of the video then. And that's why Josh got the comments on there. So, yeah, you also won't catch me talking bad about Josh too much anymore, because I saw in one of his bios he supports a boys' school or something like that. So, I got a bias. I kind of like, supporting the men. So, yeah, that's why you don't hear me talking about Josh anymore. When I saw he did that, I'm like, enemy of my enemy is my friend. In this case, I support men, boys becoming men and things like that, not boys becoming girls. So it appears that Josh might have the same agenda, unless their school teaches you can be any gender or they recognize pronouns, in which case I retract my support. So, and I just 100% retract it, but I still won't. Yeah, maybe then that's fair game. All right, but I pointed this out some time ago, so they're into it now. But I point out that you can get multiple ways that this is out of the rectangular array, and I'll often call it triangular array by mistake, because my brain's thinking like that. And so I point to this one 1 million years ago, and then it gives you your greatest tributary area and the stress there. And that's what Bell says, that it's one of the greatest. Let's see if I can go forward.
Duration that we're exploring, we see that some of the
If made,
Bell says, I'm fast forwarding. Let's see if it's here. So yeah, he says K13.1.1. That's right there. That's a Bell. Sorry, Glenn Bell. So not to be confused, it's Glenn Bell. So he's pointing to 13.1. Remember, they posted that in June 2021. I had the timestamp before that, and what is this? This says 1 year, May 18th. So it says premiered May 18th. All right, I had no knowledge of their. They didn't get hold of me and talk to me. Miami Herald, I did so many hit pieces on them. They don't want to talk to me. Of course, Professor Lehman is now communicating, and so you won't hear me talk bad about her either. I told you I won't do that once you start communicating with me. But here, I posted May 18th. You see it right there when I move away and it highlights. May 18th, and Glenn Bell shows it as posted June 2020. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, this is the Miami Herald's image.
pool deck, and you can see that by the red arrow on the image on the upper left here. That article contains a photo of that pool deck taken in early June of 2021.
Okay, there we go. So that article taken in June. Wait a minute. Oh shit. June of 2021. The article. Yeah, this was 2022. So I posted this May 18th, 2022, as one of them. I did this a few times, and then this guy is hidden over there, and it's got a long date even way before that. And I don't know if it's dated here, if I got the date on it. Let me see if I reveal the date. I'm looking at the thumbnail and it's not moving. Okay, so this says 3 months ago I posted it. And that could be, close to 4. It's a private, my private collection. Oh, that's weird. I didn't ask him to do that. This is Champlain Tower South, and they put this up. Man, YouTube sucks. They did this. I did not. See, there's settings you can have to say, post your latest video, post your most viewed video, stuff like that. And I didn't have these settings on here. This content, if you're coming to look at this content, I stayed focused on giving you the exact this. YouTube, they treat me like a bald-headed stepchild. They treat me worse than Tool Time. All right, so over here, this is the different degrees. They matter. This matters. It's just because you can do skewed rebar to make this work, and it's not often done, but you can do skewed rebar. It's in the code, and I'm looking at my notes here. Give me a second. One second. I'm going to hang up. Forget it. So Glenn Bell says 13.1. That's your 13.1. Again, I called that out many years ago. It's part of his current report that just came out. So I take the victory lap. Call it narcissist if you want. I'll bust my ass on this. I don't know how you call it narcissist. Narcissist. Oh, let me let this fly out. Be gone, fly. Be free. Be free. So, call it narcissist. That's the best you got? You could have called me a cocksucker or something like that, but a narcissist? Really? That's it? See, if he worked on real job sites, he would know that that's, you got to be tough skin with that stuff. You got to be rugged. You got to be a man, boy. Tool boy. He wants to call himself boy. What kind of crazy shit is that? Take care, guys. Love you, and hope you enjoyed the content. You might have to watch that again, but I'm going to hit that we're going to hit into this report. It's got some good meaty stuff in it. And I'll give and take with Glenn Bell. I'll tell you my biases about him. And this guy's going to be one of the most interesting guys, one of the, not Glenn Bell, but one of the guys that stands up and doesn't throw a softball. Might have an agenda, though, for fires. Against, it wants the money to go towards fires. Where's my man at? Question and answer time. Right about there somewhere, I think. Shit. Here we go.
But we do not release results until our draft report is done.
Right here. I'm going to give you a teaser video. Teaser part coming up.
Yeah. My question, in addition to managing in the sense of getting everything done, also speaks to when do you cut off a study?
When do you cut off a study? He's pissed off that they got 25 versions, including McAfee's computer. That's a lie. I made that shit up. Tool Time can go ahead and edit that shit and put it in there. He thinks it's McAfee's computer. Whatever, cock nibbler. Here we go.
You have this work plan that lays out testing and whatnot. When do you decide that you don't need to complete a work plan because the theory that you're working on has such low probability that it doesn't need to be proven to the final level that it didn't happen? Somewhere along the line, you can stop. How are you doing that? How are you doing that?
So he's pissed that they have 25 25 theories, and they're not eliminating any of them, even though he said that it's not subsidence, that he couldn't get, they load testing the columns, that they determined that couldn't be it. Yet he still leaves it on the 25 list of 25. I think he might have said 24, 25, and 26. I think I heard three different things in this video. And so you can listen to it. Let me key you up on that. Yeah, this is just a teaser for the longer version, but let me key you on that one real quick. Show you that it passed. So right about there.
Continuing with geotechnical topics, another question of the investigation is whether there were any large settlements of the CTS pile foundations that may have contributed to the failure. For this, the geotechnical project has worked on two tasks to date. First, on the left, during the geotechnical site investigation we performed following the search, rescue, and recovery after
55 more seconds.
Failure, we load tested two of the CTS piles in the pool deck area. Those piles performed very well in the load tests and demonstrated adequacy to carry the estimated design loads.
Passed.
These load test results also agreed with other published literature and information that we've collected about other load tests in the Miami area, and of conditions that were very similar in terms of type of piles and loading and similar subsurface conditions. Second, the geotechnical engineering project has conducted preliminary calculations of the basement settlements using both numerical models. There's a finite element model shown here, and empirical methods. And these are consistent, showed results consistent with the site pile load testing. So based on these load tests and analyses performed to date, our preliminary evaluation is that the estimated potential settlements under structural loading are small, on the order of 1/4 of an inch or less.
So he's stating that it won't do anything, that it won't harm the structure.
Now, moving over to the structural side then, we use this preliminary evaluation of settlement. The structural project explored the potential impacts of 1/4 of an inch of differential settlement on parts of the pool deck structure by imposing that settlement in our finite element collapse models at various places. And there's an example shown here on this slide where we imposed 1/4 of an inch differential settlement at column J.115. This analysis accounts for a creep of the structure over time. And the result was that the load in the settled column decreased by less than 5%, and the load at the adjacent columns increased by less than 5%. So therefore, we've reached the preliminary evaluation that differential settlements of 1/4 of an inch have minimal impact on the pool deck structure.
So at minimum impact, so that's it. That it's nothing. So that's what the guy was arguing, that and I'll get to that video. This is a teaser for that one. But this is just to have a little fun also, Friday night fun for you guys. Enjoy it. And Jeff, since you got the big friggin' audience, do that one about there, all right? I still think you're a nibbler, but that's what I think. So look, just do that's what I heard. Listen, you call me narcissist all you want, if it makes you happy. Hey, you hurt my feelings. Hold on. Let me cry a minute, but guys. Jeff said that the contractors are stupid and they don't even know they're working working on top of a parking garage, and they had a JGL lift on top of there. They went through the gates. He's still holding down them gates, because if he was a real contractor and engineer, he would know that you would take down part of that wall and you go through it. And he would know, if you were real, that you really wouldn't, like the one engineer that was building next door. Fuck that wall. I'll replace it. It's a small wall. It's a block wall, a block wall that's above elevated on top of the pad. That wall's nothing. Build us, and when they hit us with that wall, we'll give them a brand new wall. It's done a lot. It's done frequently. I've destroyed walls next door to properties on purpose, knowing an agreement was, if we destroy it, we'll replace it. We have no intent on saving that wall. It's too much trouble. We're coming through that wall. They agree to it. We tell them what kind of nice new wall they get. We give them a drawing. This is your wall. What's going to look like once we destroy your wall. And boom, they're like, shit, yeah, that's an upgrade. Got steel and everything. Yep, upgrade. Hope you destroy our wall. They give us a little wink. You're like, don't worry, we didn't do this drawing for nothing. You got your wink. So it happens. All right. So that wall was nothing if they vibration broke the mortar joint. But remember, everything has a frequency, and it would have to get the frequency from there to get into that frequency to vibrate it. You got to get into that frequency of it. And then it's talking about failure from there. But it was such a short period of time that each frequency in front of the wall is just changing all the time as they slide down. And it had their own bulkhead anyway. So it had to go into that bulkhead, and from the bulkhead into the concrete, and from the concrete, solid poured concrete, into the steel of the concrete, and then into the wall system. So you can hear there that that's a pass.
Judy just described the status of our structural laboratory.
All right, so I'm showing you there was nothing past that. It got a pass, and that's what made my man pissed off. It's like, what the hell? Why you keep doing that? And they don't have cameras. their 6-week deployment they brag about, right? I can tell you that they did not have a 6-week deployment through an insider source. They were rotating those people out every week when they first worked on there, but they brag about in this report 6-week deployment, meaning 6 weeks at a time. I'm telling you guys, they were rotating them guys like 1 week. They were like, go back home to your family. Go back home to your family. They were doing 1 week. So every time somebody showed up, there was just new people just working on the damn thing. They may be 6 weeks now, but they... Oh, and they're still going through the debris. I shit you not. That's in the long video. Looking at my notes here, that one guy, I wanted to hit you with that one guy again. Why do I have 50/40 here? Let me look at this.
Leaving no stone unturned and getting to the bottom of this and getting
40.
it right. Where our evaluation of the likelihoods of our roughly 24 failure hypothesis.
There I go. That's why I said roughly 24. There's your 24 when he said 24.
Has sharpened considerably in the past few months. We currently have ruled out none of those hypotheses. We're still testing.
None.
Our findings and recommendations, I think, will likely result in improvements in codes and standards of practice for structures, not only across the U.S., but likely in other places in the world.
Here we go. That's the goal. That's the intention. That's to change the world. All right? To change the standards in the world. It was never about the local. It was never about the local. All right? Remember I told you guys that a long time ago? That I said that this is going to be about, the World Economic Forum when they did that post about subsidence. Well, they tried to find it. They couldn't get it. But yet they're still going to come up with some rules to change it for whatever reason.
World, enhancing life safety for millions of people.
Yeah.
We made good progress in the past few months and today shared more of our preliminary evaluations to date. So Chair Karotis and distinguished members of...
Look, this vindicates my sprinkler guy, right? You guys, I interviewed him, things like that. Here we go.
Is heard and that maybe a few additional perspectives are offered to our team.
If I can just comment on that, Pepe, Kim. I mean, I know, for instance, my security cameras are automatically backed up and I get billed monthly so even if...
He's saying, where the hell is your cameras? What he's saying. He's pissed off about the cameras. Shit. Okay, I'll give you this one again. We're going to bring this up right here and get about 20 seconds keying up.
You've just talked about human resources, how difficult that is.
Hold on.
I'm talking about the resources for the entire project. 24 theories or so.
Here he gets 24 theories or so. Listen.
Foundation you can probably rule out at this point, yet you say you're still holding on to it, still studying it.
See, he's pissed off.
When do you stop? How do you contain your expenditure of resources? I don't know that any resource...
See what he's saying? He's saying, because when do you stop? You ruled out the damn foundation, but you're leaving it there, so now you're going to still keep investigating it. Guys, you know who else is investigating this? That they hired as a subcontractor, if you will? FIU, Florida International University. That is so wrong, because when they had that bridge collapse, did you guys see the Florida International's investigation of their own bridge collapse? Did they publish that? No, they're still mousy on that. They got nothing to say. I'm hanging up, and so I just find it's just shenanigans, just craziness. I should end it one more time with Jeff saying how people, contractors are just dumb as shit. Let's find that one. Where they don't even know that they're driving on top of a thing. But Jeff, even though I'm hitting on you, dude, you got to do that video right there. All right? The dumbass people out here that...
equipment was brought...
that block me. They would be getting this data if they weren't for blocking me.
Onto the pool deck because he's like, you can't fit it in there past...
Right there, guys, look. That shit is serious. That's a serious friggin' crack. That's your same crack. You're basically, you're flirting with the same thing. So, there we go.
the gate. Well, take a look at this picture right here. This to me looks like it's a double gate here, a double wide gate.
Factor 4 is an addition.
But certainly they had to have used something. And I stand by my argument because now, in light of this under-designed pool deck and all of that bad concrete there, and it's right in that area, I think this was a contributing factor for sure. I did take some criticism from one of the other YouTube channels, and you guys know who he is. He's that narcissist guy out there that he has an elevated sense of importance where he thinks...
Make up your mind. You give me a full evaluation. Let's see. Narcissist, elevated sense of importance. Go on.
Thinks that he's the only one that has all of the answers and all the rest.
Okay, got it. Only answers. Okay, got it. What else?
Most of us are stupid. And he's a...
Hey. Now that hurts. I don't think you're all stupid. I don't think everyone else is stupid, do I? But you just called everyone else stupid. All the contractors are fucking stupid as shit, you just said.
And insulted me, called me tool boy or whatever, you know, just...
Hey, and that's not an insult.
This is what happens when you don't have the facts and when you lack understanding of construction sites. He also told me I was basically stupid for even suggesting that any equipment was brought onto the pool deck.
That's me crying in the background.
You can't fit it in there past the gate. Well, take a look at this picture right here. This to me looks like it's a double gate here, a double wide gate.
Factor 4 is failure.
So this is just mind-boggling how much sand and extra materials there were there on that pool deck. Now, I had showed you on my videos a couple of years ago, right after the collapse, how I showed how adding those extra tiles onto the pool deck along with the sand would trap water after it rains. So now you have the added weight of the water soaking up and saturating that sand. Okay. What I didn't know was I thought the sand was only a couple of inches. This is all we do when we do pavers down here in Florida, is we pack them at 2 inches.
No, dude. No. That guy was a licensed engineer. He can pack it the way he wanted to pack it. He prescribed it. If you're an engineer, oh, wait a minute, you're an electrical engineer, you wouldn't know that. It's prescriptive. He prescribed the 9 inches. He's allowed to do that, self-certified it. So you can't talk bad about my man. Now, you can hit him up on the numbers and everything else, and it's a contributing factor that you're going after him at that point, which I like. If everybody goes after this damn Tong Lee, what the hell gave you the right to put that concrete on that fucking deck too? Not just that sand. There's concrete on that deck also. Over there by the parking garage. Stamped.
These guys had 9 inches of sand in some places. And one thing we didn't know, because we didn't have access to the site like NIST does, is they put some of the new pavers on top of some of the old pavers in some of the areas of the pool deck. So the old pavers that... You're dealing with contractors like this. The guys that are actually doing the work don't really know much of anything. They just...
So he just told me... I gotta write this shit down. Let's see, I gotta remember my shit. Hold on, guys, give me a second. At 24, let's say 10, he says contractors are dumb. All right, this is what he's saying here, right? The contractors, and they don't even know they're working there. But he just told me that I... Wait a minute, back this up, right there.
Stupid for even suggesting that any old boy or whatever, you know, just... This is what happens when you don't have the facts and when you lack understanding of construction sites. He also told me I was basically stupid for even suggesting that any equipment was brought onto the pool deck because he's like, you can't fit it in there past the gate. Well, take a look at this picture right here. This to me looks like it's a double gate here, a double wide gate.
Factor 4 is an additional add.
And he's even insulted me, called me tool boy or whatever, you know, just... This is what happens when you don't have the facts and when you lack understanding of construction sites. He also told me I was basically stupid for even suggesting that...
Oh, wait a minute, no, that's something. I'm trying to find the narcissist part. Hold on.
Or that he has an elevated sense of importance where he thinks that he's the only one that has all of the answers and all the rest of us are stupid.
And so he says all the rest of us are stupid. That's at 2203. 2203, he says that I think that all the rest of us are stupid. You know, a little deformation of character there, but we're going to go with this right now, right? We're going to call it YouTube banter, all right? We're going to call it YouTube banter at this point. 2410. That's what we're not going to really call it that, but we're going to say this. I reserve the right, is what I'm saying. Now, here we go. All depends how you guys take it. All right, so in 2409, he's 2410, 2409 the video. He states how the contractors are stupid.
They're doing the work. Don't really know much of anything. They're laborers. That's all they do. They know how to move materials from here to there. They probably didn't even know that they were sitting on top of a garage. That's the thing. You could do this all day long on the ground, but if they had known that they were on top of a garage, they probably would have thought things out differently.
I'm ended with that. Jeff, you're the gift that never stops giving. Dude, come on. You're stupid. That's stupid, Jeff. You really are you're unaware of how stupid you do. Your stupid shit. You're really amazingly unaware. And I say Tool Time. That's the guy that sold Tool Time. I mean, that's just like a thing, man, you know. I've called you, I've said your name before a few times. Tool Time's not an insult. It's Tool Time. You should fucking snatch it up. But it probably already got a patent on it with Tool Time, don't they? Yeah, you can't snatch that up. You could be saying like it's Jeff Ostroff and it's Tool Time. We're at Lowe's today, and what's on sale? Look what I can do. I can read a fucking sales label. Ha ha! Guess what? Today they got 2 extension cords for $7.95. Guys, come out and get this now. These are, I don't know, because I'm Jeff the electrician, right? I really don't know what the hell I'm looking at with extension cord. I guess I should know. But I think my dude worked on cell phones, right? He's a cell phone guy, so I don't even know if he knows how to fucking do, the sizing for electrical and wiring and all that. And run that a little further than like I would tell you. Now, you mind going there and doing my video? I'd like, in this extension cord right here, you see, guys, got two plugs on the end. It's an extension cord with 2 ends with the two Jimmy Jams, the pluggy thingy, right? You guys know what I'm talking about. You plug the one in the house, and then you plug this there, and you put your saw on it, and your saw sounds like this instead of like. And that's because something else is on your line. I gotta go, guys. Stephanie's not the alarm there. So look, I'm just having fun. Tool Time. Do this one. I got no fucking room. Give me a shout out, you nibbler, and do that one I told you about the gate. That's serious shit. That's some serious shit, guys. If you can spread that love on that one, if you're watching this from the North Tower, make sure your engineer addressed that issue that cracked.